Charlie's Collectible Show. We're here in Georgia for an amazing Lorcana tournament. You know, Charlie's has deep roots in the Lorcana community. It's where Lorcana history is made. It's been won by greats like Zansied. It's where Brent and DeCandio put Diggy Diggy Hole on the map. It's where Lucas Serrano took down his mentor, Kendall Burdett, on the way to the finals. And where just recently we saw Brooms making a splash in the finals, and then that got carried on to Worlds. It's gonna be an amazing day. I can't wait to show you all what's inside.
Yeah, I can't believe we're here. It's happening, and set 9 is officially starting, so let's just go inside.
Let's go take a look. All right.
Liam, we're here. This is the room where it happens. You've been here before. This is my first time, but what can we expect here?
This is the Charlie's. I mean, this place is amazing. Not only do they have a tournament set up, a big snack shack, which we'll show you in a second, but there's all sorts of vendors with goods and products of all kinds here. It's a really fun place to hang out and shop if you're in the area, and it's a great venue to hold a Lorcana tournament in.
Yeah, I think my wallet's a little scared, but luckily we'll be in the booth. They have good taste. Stitch is here, okay? So, gotta love that.
This is the snack shack. This is where players and commentators refuel throughout the day with energy drinks and all sorts of goodies and stuff from overseas. It's kind of cool. And here we go.
And this is where it's crazy, because when you're outside, you're like, oh, it's just a little card shop. But no, this is just a small corner of this giant labyrinthine venue.
It has all the things, all the plushies. There's Bluey. Look at these. Huey, Dewey, like
Huey,
the Disney
Dewey,
plushes
and Louie, and Uncle Donald.
hanging out together. Look at this, Mickey.
Yeah, I have blinders on. I'm walking past. No, I have to stay in the venue.
It's dangerous for our wallets. This is the start, just the start of the play area. Look, we're gonna have almost 500 players here today. That's a lot of people. So what you're seeing right here is just a bit of where players will be playing today.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is it. No, there's more, which is kind of the theme here today. But wait, there's more. So
it's wave to the broadcast team over there. They're busy.
But speaking of busy.
Speaking of busy, here are the judges getting set up, getting ready.
The best in the business. And more. But wait. They judge you, but in a good way. But we also have more tables. You might say, oh, so that's it, right? No.
No.
There's more.
No. Let's take a look upstairs.
I hope you brought your walking shoes. And shout out to our cameraman.
Whoa.
We made it.
More tables, more judges.
Yeah, the judges, the tables, and even more.
And this is the top area.
And this will be where our featured players are. Shout out to the wonderful crew at 20 Lore for putting all this together. It looks just like this. It looks like this, but they're a little bit more stressed than this.
Katie, what's in here?
Here, this is where the magic is made for the captainting team. We're gonna be in this room here today. So you might remember this stream from the other side, but this is our view. And we're gonna do our best to bring you the greatest stream possible.
It's gonna be amazing. Hang out with us all day today. There's gonna be some amazing Lorcana. There's almost 500 people. It's an incredible event. We can't wait to see you in the booth.
Absolutely.
With that, they were waiting for us to open those packs because they're sitting down at the tables, getting ready to go. Let's give you something else to look at besides us.
Yeah.
Let's head down to the table.
Enough vamping. Let's get to the game. Let's see who we got. We got R&B.
Oh, it's Mr. R&B himself up from the Tampa area, R&B of Team Maelstrom. And he's on Blurple.
He's on Blurple.
And then the Alabama, not a player I've seen around, not somebody I'm super familiar with. I can't tell you his record, but or his achievements in Lorcana, but somebody I've definitely seen at some of these big tournaments. But he's doing well today, 3-0. And if those symbols are correct, we're about to see a Blurple mirror. So yeah, I mean, some folks said they wanted to see the meta. This is the meta, folks.
This is absolutely the meta. But here's what makes Blurple such an interesting color combination is that so many people are using different tech cards within the Blurple mirrors. And
That's
unlike
true.
most mirrors, I feel like a good 45, 50 cards in most Blurple or in most mirrors are about the same. I feel like it's closer to like there's 35, 40 cards that we see all the time, and then there's a lot of different tech stuff. We see some of the Auroras from Chapter 1, which help out in the mirror, right? We're seeing some of the stuff like TikToks, right? We're seeing some of the Dolores Madrigals. There's many different cards that people are throwing into this mix. So even though it looks on the surface like a mirror, we're about to see some of the spice that these players have included here. TikTok, speaking of, is going to hit the inkwell for Alabama, and a Basil is going to be played Is it Basil or Basil? I was asking.
I think Basil.
Basil.
Baker would know. Basil has become very popular recently. That support ability really, really strong in a meta that requires that relies really on challenging and character-based removal. Rafiki on the other side, back over to Tipo on turn 2. You want to hit that ramp, and the Alabama does.
Not as, definitely you want to see the Sail the Azurite Sea over the Tipo in most matches because you'll be able to replenish your hand a little bit. Speaking of, RMB is going to be able to do that. He's going to get massive card advantage right now because of that play, as opposed to the Tipo.
It is interesting, but you do want to refill your hand. The fun thing about Basil, though, is he does make that Tipo a lot more dangerous now.
That is true.
A 1-2, kind of innocuous, but having that support sitting on the board, and sometimes you'll see that Basil sit there like all game, and until the right moment when all of a sudden that support comes in handy. So.
And speaking of spice, we got the Baymax. We got the
which one was
promo
it?
Baymax, actually. The one that heals 2 and then gives you a lore for each one that you heal. 5 cost Inkable.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I know he's running this list. I have had the Universal Shift being run, but not in this list. I don't think it's been run a lot.
Right. And the Universal Shift one would have to be Emerald Sapphire. The Madam Mim Elephant coming down. A lot of people loving this card. You bounce back the Tipo, and then each turn you can put at the beginning of your turn 2 damage that's on the Madam Mim Elephant onto an opposing character of your choice. Very, very powerful.
It's elephants.
Wow.
Again, elephants on parade here again. Both players on this card. I mean, we lost most of the bounce package, but elephant stayed around and being used to great effect here. Of course, getting that Tipo back in hand feels a lot better, I think, than getting the Rafiki, but now we have some well-statted characters on the board.
I mean, the Alabama here, is going to be able to, but he's only going to be able to, he's going to quest for 1.
So he's got support,
and then take it out in 1.
And there's that Basil. I mean, it comes out turn 1. It sits there all game, and at the right moment, used to great effect, pairing there with the Elsa to do 4 damage, and then followed up by the Elephant. And now that Elephant's sitting with damage on it, and that's not what you like to see if you're playing against it.
Yeah, let's see here. Oh, and RMB plays the bell. We'll put all of the damage onto the Elsa so that the Alabama can't do it. But still, I gotta feel like the Alabama is ahead right now. I mean,
fantastic play there. I mean, that bell hitting at the perfect time to prevent any sort of damage shenanigans from that Madam Mim, and getting that Elsa off the board feels really good. Like critical play, well, not critical play, but fantastic play there.
I mean, definitely critical. If we don't have that, then the board looks mighty scary, and we're gonna see a 3/4 Challenger Elsa here. I believe the Challenger's for +3 Challenger, 4 cost Elsa, if I'm not mistaken. But again, these decks are so wildly different that this actually is Into the Unknown coming down, taking out that Elephant cleanly here. However, a little bit of a tit for tat here because the Alabama does get an extra ramp into the Inkwell because of that.
And here another Elsa coming down and going to get rid of that Basil before they have any more support hijinks there. We're going to exert it the other way here just for uniformity. There you go. And back over to the Alabama. Some people talked about how they dislike mirror matches, and I kind of said jokingly that I didn't like mirror matches earlier. But this is a fun one because you're just seeing this really back and forth, this post and repost here, this fencing match where either player, now that they're into the end game, have late mid game, getting into the end game here, they have a lot of their removal options available, and we're just watching this back and forth, this board control tit for tat. And it's really a lot of fun. Speaking of which, here comes Hades.
Hades is going to come down. The Elsa's going to make that clean trade. And this is what makes these mirror matches so skill intensive. Every single decision counts. And the longer that the game goes on, the more decisions that you have to make. So a lot of times, and I've talked to my wife about this, she loves playing control decks, but at a certain point after a few matches, she's like, I don't know if I want to make as many decisions. And I was like, maybe you should try an aggro thing. Because these matches can go on for very long periods of time. So the amount of skill, the amount of what's the word I'm looking for? Not durability, but you need to have stamina here. And Rafiki's going to come down.
And with that, I think the Alabama's hand is empty, if I'm seeing correctly. So I'm really hoping to draw into some card draw here.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, some of it is not Finders Keepers, perhaps. And there's that Dumbo. I thought we might be setting a beautiful Dumbo. Look at that enchanted version. And I thought that Genie might be setting that up because this is where you want to play him with an evasive character already established, so that Genie being used immediately to draw a card, and now not vulnerable to the crackback because it does have evasive. So we'll play a Develop Your Brain here, look at a few more cards. And look at that enchanted Dumbo. It's one of the most beautiful cards in the game.
Oh, gorgeous. That thing's just south of $500, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. For a piece of cardboard, but I mean, what a beautiful piece of cardboard.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely fantastic.
Oh.
And RMB is a player, by the way, who is known for blinging out his decks. Everything has to be enchanted, so I wouldn't be surprised if there were multiple enchanted demos in there. That's kind of one of his trademarks.
I know, but you can tell it's early in the format because he already inked a non-enchanted.
Oh,
Dumbo.
did he? All right, yeah.
Maybe by next week it'll be all
It'll
four.
be all foiled out. I mean, he's got the one out there. The Alabama, I didn't see what he drew here. You really want to draw into some card draw, even some removal, like get that Dumbo off the board would be nice, but
yeah, they're even having a friendly little chat here. R&B, they're laughing it up. It must be something not that great. And R&B, it looks like he's saying, what could you possibly have that you wouldn't want to play right now?
Yeah, what are you thinking about? Is it a Genie? We saw 4. It is...
Oh,
No,
the bell.
The bell, all right.
You don't get the value out of it. I think R&B probably called it immediately when
Yeah,
he saw him hesitating. What else do you not play? Because you slam down a Genie and draw a card, right? Like, what would you ever have to think about? And it is the bell.
But now it's got to get some stats on the board here. Looks like the Alabama's going to push his lore total a little bit. Up to 5 there. But this is one of the reasons Rafiki's in this deck. I mean, there's, again, in a meta with where people are running a lot of high willpower characters because all the non-conditional based removal got removed.
Right.
That Challenger 3 is pretty big.
And I believe the Alabama was already at 5. He's actually up to 7
Up to
now.
7, good. Okay, good.
Yeah, with that Hades. And he's correctly understanding that there's got to be a little bit of racing done here as Hades goes into the inkwell. Hades on Hades action. It's never anything that you want to see, but it always turns out real brutal here.
That's true. I think Hades has Hades another Hades, like as often as Hades has Hades other cards.
Try saying that 3 times, man.
Nope, that's it. It's a little poetry for you there.
If the Alabama is not able to draw, I mean, if he doesn't get, any Finders Keepers, any what's the second star to the right, like. Oh, and another bell, which you won't be able to do anything with. You don't even want to quest because R&B is going to be able to make a bunch of favorable trades with that Rafiki. I mean, this is going from bad to worse. And just as we were saying that these games can take a long time, this game looks like the writing might be on the wall here. I mean, the Alabama needs to draw into some evasive characters to start handling. Back-breaking Elsa.
So one of the things that the 2 bells did set up was singing second star to the right. If the Alabama's running it and could draw it, that was one of the big outs, was like draw the second star to the right, sing with both those bells. I didn't see what that was.
I know, if that is, and that Elsa.
I know. I'd be like, oh man. But that exerting those characters and just leaving them there like useless is so heartbreaking. And look, I think he's counting. What's that? If that was second star.
Yeah, then agonizing, absolutely agonizing. We got the Dumbo, baby. That is right, C9 Ender. Dire Wire is correct, too.
It was second star to the right.
Second star to the
right. He had the out. That was the out. As soon as he played that second. I know. Oh, man.
Played it perfect. He knew exactly what was going on because he's playing it. And this is what we're talking about, Liam. This is exactly what we're talking about. Sure, it's a mirror match, but these plays and the heads up of R&B, there's so many cards in his hand. What does he decide to play? The Elsa, because how does the Alabama come back into this? Well, if he's able to sing second star to the right, draw 5 cards, has
all that ink available.
Boom. And that game was not exactly completely over, but that was such a back-breaking, agonizing play that the Alabama just scoops anyway. I don't think that game was over, Liam. I think that there was still ability to win. I think there was still a little bit more that could have been done, right? But man, the Alabama just scoops because it's just so backbreaking to have that happen right as you draw into the answer that would have brought you back into this game.
Ah, man, that's what a fun play. Yeah, at this point, preserve some time, perhaps. Go into game 2. These mirrors can run long, but man, it's so funny. It's interesting. As soon as he played that bell, I was like, okay, it's not necessarily what you want. Second star to the right, though, that gets you back in.
You called it, man.
And I was like, man.
The
okay.
fortune teller.
Yes. Such a bummer. I know there's other cards that he could have had. I mean, any of those elses get knocked, or those bells get knocked out, but still, yeah, interesting. All right.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, like we were saying, unlike other mirror matches, this does feel like there's so many tech cards that you can add. And I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of different versions of Blurple. I've seen ones that are playing the Anna, that when you have the Elsa out, then you can draw more cards, which means that you're putting more Elsas into your deck. Like, maybe that's what the Alabama has and just wasn't able to find, but kind of felt like Alabama just gassed out when he didn't find the draw cards, and RMB finding that Dumbo and able to, activate the effects with the genie was just too much when the Alabama was struggling just to survive and make the trades.
Yeah, and I mean, you kind of highlighted, you foretold a little bit the. Is that a message to the broadcast team? I couldn't see what that was. What do you rate, chat? I'm interested. Yeah, you kind of foretold the trouble that he would have early when you talked about the Tipo instead of the Sail, and how not being able to replace that card and having to use cards in your hand, it could set him back, and he just never found that draw engine. Every one of these decks, especially Amethyst decks, and then it used to be the Sapphire decks, needs to hit like this mid-game draw engine, or at least a couple cards. If you're playing Steel, you need to hit Docks. If you're old school, you need to hit the Flavisham mid-game. If you were in this game or in Amethyst, you really want to hit that Genie in the mid-game there. It used to be Rabbit. Getting a Rabbit established and bouncing around, in the mid-game was key. And so if you miss that draw engine, or that draw, or at least like one Finder's Keeper or something like that, you'll burn out. And yeah, the power of Dumbo there on full display. RMB getting one, and the Alabama not being able to play one. So
I know. I personally love a good mirror match, especially when we're watching two high-level players like this playing, because you just start watching the plays and you go, why would they do that? And you're like, oh, they're playing around the possibility of XYZ, and this is not open deck list format. So RMB doesn't know for sure that the Alabama does have the second star to the right, but played around it anyway. I mean, just brilliant plays here. Brilliant plays. We have an RMB fan in here, 00's voice saying, go bald man. Unless they're talking about me.
He is,
but I doubt it.
RMB is known for his lack of hair.
Yes. The RM bald. And the Alabama will put down. Will ink and pass. No one drop. RMB electing to develop his brain instead of putting down that Rafiki there.
Neither player developing a character there, indicates to me, I haven't got a good look at RMB's hand, but perhaps is missing one of the key pieces. I don't see, he flipped really quickly, I don't see a ramp on turn 2. That would be something that you would develop for instead of looking for, or instead of developing the board. But Tipo there, or Sail sending Tipo into the Inkwell, so Alabama hitting his ramp on turn 2. I don't know. I didn't see.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. And if RMB is going to miss this 2-drop ramp in the form of Tipo or Sail the Azurite Sea, he's going to be in a lot of trouble, because now, just like that, because the Alabama is on the play, he's going to have 4 inked 2 here. And that is a massive advantage when you are playing a deck like Blurple.
Yeah, and what it does is in this match, when you can get to Elsa's quicker, when you can get to Genies quicker, the first person to play those, you really like on the front foot. And here, the Alabama establishing this Genie on turn 3, back over to RMB with only 3 ink. It's gonna be tough.
He draws into the Sail the Azurite Sea. Turn too late. Yeah.
Too late. We'll play it here.
He draws 2 cards by accident. I get it, too, because you just played the develop your brain. Your brain's kind of on that. He drew 2 cards. Oh, oopsies.
Yep, that'll happen. Look at that. Immediately raising his hand, calling a judge over. Luckily, they're still in the same order, so we can kind of rewind this a little bit.
And we can probably just take the top card, put the other one in, and I don't know if RB even looked at the cards, though.
That is true. I don't know. Sometimes what they'll do is they'll have players move that card around if knowledge of that card would help them. It looks like we are going to shuffle here and kind of randomize what's going on.
I wonder why the bottom card stays. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. So, Alabama will.
Again, these judges know more about Lorcana than I probably ever will, so.
Yeah, the bottom single card is interesting. With Develop Your Brain, there's a bunch of cards you put down there, but it's interesting that the bottom card does hang out. But there we go. We've fixed that situation. These things happen, and calling a judge over immediately. We do see that beautiful Baymax.
Because of the develop your brain from the first turn. That's why. So R&B is able to play a little bit of catch up here, but unfortunately won't be able to find anything to play with those 2 additional inks. Back to the Alabama, and I mean, he's up to 5 ink here. World's his oyster. Is it going to be the Elsa? Oh, it's going to be the Belle. Okay. We're going to quest for 2. And just like that, you know, R&B is on the back foot here. Yeah. I do see a genie that he flashed, so I'm assuming that that's going to be the drop.
Yeah, that'd be a good card you get on the board here. Again, we do the Spectral Parrot. Giant Spectral Parrot coming down, 4/6. With Vanish, it became very popular when he first came out, almost immediately. A great answer for genies, of which Alabama has one.
I don't know if I don't think Alabama has inked the Hypnotic Strength, though, yet. So if he's able to play that Hypnotic Strength onto the Iago, target the Iago, goodbye Iago for just 2, and you draw. But I guess he had already inked it.
Tick-tock, tick-tock.
Yup. Clock's ticking down.
Yeah, this card became very popular recently. Zenulus Logan Taylor, who won a big event last weekend, release event with this list, talked about how powerful TikTok was. That 4/7 stat line, just very, very, very difficult to deal with. And talking about how it was one of the best cards in his deck. Underrated, he said.
Wow. Yeah, people have been getting very, very high on that TikTok. Shout outs, Lorcana Villain, for the reveal of that card. One of my favorites. Did you see what he did with he superimposed like a hook scene with the TikTok? It was very funny. Anyways, RMB decides to play down the genie here. And you know what? Just like that, this game's starting to... I was about to say this game's starting to even up a little bit. That Dumbo kind of shifts things because that TikTok is going to be able to gain a lore, draw a card. Do we do the same with the genie?
And that's what makes Dumbo so good. You know, what made Hiram so dangerous, like when he was around, was his interplayability. It's the fact that right when you played him, you got to use him, draw 2 cards. So even if you dealt with him, you've already gotten value off of him. And this Dumbo, its first ability, not bad. Its second ability, the fact that you can use it multiple times, I think is secondary to the fact that you can use it immediately. And so being able to play him and then immediately leverage one of your cards to draw a card is just so powerful.
Absolutely. I mean, he does decide to draw the card and gain the lore with the genie, but now his genie is exposed. That Iago's going to take it out cleanly, only putting 2 damage counters back on that Iago, opening yourself up for some Bell kind of actions too, where you can take out that Basil, move the damage counters off of the Iago if he has the Bell, but that's yet to be seen here. He'll ink the Rafiki. And I mean, yeah, we are nicely into this match, and it's still 4-0
territory.
Ooh.
Yeah, once that 7th thing hits, you know it's time for not be prepared anymore. It's time for Hades.
Absolutely.
Hades has seen enough of that pachyderm drawing out the album card.
Ooh, giving the
there it is, that damage-based removal, that support ability coming into play here again. That card just sits around all game long, and then you know, you use it the most annoying time possible for your opponent there. Very efficient trades. And, yeah, now back over to the Alabama to see how he responds. But it does feel like things have swung these last 2 turns.
It feels like R&B is now firmly in the lead. I mean, the Alabama was luckily able to get... taken out the Iago. Of course, the TikTok's going to take back a measly 2 damage here. And I'm wondering, do you trade these Basils? Do you...
There's another Dumbo. He's like, I got rid of one, and now you have another. Yeah, it would be interesting to see the Basil trade here. I don't like to talk. Yeah, I think I would take it out.
Basil. Yeah,
it's just so dangerous paired with that Hades. So I don't mind that trade at all. And another Hades on Dumbo. That's like, man, we're gonna see that so many times this weekend. So Hades coming down again. R&B having the answer, getting that Dumbo off the board.
Right, and just as soon as it was looking like the Alabama was pulling back ahead, yeah, this second Hades comes down. I mean, the bittersweet news is that even though you Hades the Dumbo it's a massive threat, you are giving your opponent more ink at the end of the day. So, I mean, and if there's one thing Blurple loves, it's more ink.
It is more ink.
Let's see what goes.
Oh,
And the
man.
Elsa.
Here's the thing, like Blurple and the end game here, you hear us every time going, oh, it's because there's just haymakers. Like the end of this deck, at the top end, it's just all haymakers.
Yes.
It's like Hades followed by Elsa, followed by Belle, and all of these like powerful cards with really fascinating and powerful effects. And there's another Elsa on the other side.
To Elsa.
All right, so it looks like we're gonna choose the R&B has played on camera many times, knows how to help us out here to tell us exactly what's going on, but he's gonna exert both the Elsa and the TikTok there. Those won't ready at the start of the Alabama's turn. Those Hades still sitting there exerted thanks to Alabama's Belle. But those Hades will be readied first. So, and there's a Hades coming down on the Elsa.
Onto the Elsa.
This is the hook and uppercut and back and forth.
Do we quest here with the Belle? That's the question. I don't see a reason not to, right? I mean, you're walking into Hypnotic Strength, maybe. You're walking into... I'm trying to think what else would punish that, but Hypnotic Strength for sure. But then you're preventing your opponent from questing for another 2, right? So it's like, how bad really is it? Alabama firmly ahead here, 11-1. It looks like we're going to a game 3 unless R&B just has the turn of the century here. But he, with only 3 cards in hand, gonna be kind of hard. Did you see any of those cards?
He has it develop, which I think we're gonna see right here. So he'll get to look a little more.
Yep.
I didn't quite catch what the other 2 were.
It looked like maybe it was Finders Keepers, but I got to imagine, well, you'd probably develop first before you Finders Keepers. I do think it was Finders, but I could be wrong. Let's see. These players so good. They're always shuffling their cards. They're always making it difficult to see. Double Hades into the Elsa. Interesting. Yeah, we got to do damage control.
Oh my goodness, we're sending both the Elsas back. A double elephant coming down here, sending both the Hades back to hand.
Yep.
Oh man.
Turning the drawback into the strength, because now the Alabama's sitting here going, well, do I drop my big bombs because he's just going to Hades it into my inkwell? It might be too little too late, though. I mean, I'm not going to lie. These are going to cleanly answer the bell, right? But like...
Are we going to see a return of Madam Impact? We are.
We
are
are into the Hades.
Look, this is a mirror match in its truest sense. It's just, and then having enough ink there to play that Hades again, send that Madam Mim to the inkwell. We have 2 Hades in hand now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Clearly not enough to do both, but yeah, the Alabama just managing to drop, big threat after big threat after big threat, and at 11 lore, R&B has to respond every single turn here.
Right, and being able to, and the only reason, by the way, the Alabama has that much ink is because those Dumbos went into the inkwell. So it's like, yes, you are quelling the threat right now. However, you're opening yourself up to more damage in the future with these Blurple mirrors. The Hades is going to Hades, the other Hades.
Yep, can't bounce it if it's in your inkwell. Madam M will put a couple damage there onto that Bell, and it'll go back over to the Alabama there. So just stacking a few damage counters there. Looks like the Alabama will
quest for 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, yeah. And R&B is just gonna scoop here because it's like, writing's on the wall, right?
Yeah.
We got to get to a game 3. I don't know how much time we have left in the round, but these rounds can go long. So why not scoop up when we see it? Go to game 3 here.
Yeah, the lore total may have been slightly off too. I think we may have been lagging behind a little bit on the Alabama's lore, but yeah, so we will see a game 3, and for that match, say again, production is telling us 24 minutes left in the round, so plenty of time to close this out. But these matchups, these mirrors can go long. Now R&B here will be on the play going into game 3. We really want to be in this meta, and yeah, from that game there, I mean, not only was he on the draw, but missing that turn 2 ramp and it just felt like he was a step behind for most of that game.
Right. And finding it the next turn just wasn't. Yeah. But then not being able to play anything with the 2 extra ink that you had. Yeah. I think you said it all, man. What are you looking forward to in this match? Who do you got here? R&B is going to be on the play. It's hard not to assume the player on the play, especially in a match like this where it is mostly a mirror. Doesn't have the huge advantage, but Liam, you're the master. You're one of the masters of commentary here. What are you seeing?
Well, It is, as you highlighted, it is hard to vote against the deck on the play in the mirror here, especially when you have a player of the caliber of R&B. Both these players, though, piloting this deck very well. Either one of them could take it, but yeah, being on the play is such an advantage, especially in the Genie, meta. If you hit, and you can highlight it really, really well with just the Genie Elsa sequence. If you're the one establishing your Genie first, and then your opponent plays their Genie, and you play your Elsa on turn 5, now you answer that Genie very cleanly. And so, like, that line of playing that Genie on 4 becomes really perilous when you're on the draw, because you're giving your opponent like a very, very good trade when that Elsa answer is right there. So now, of course, you can answer with the Elsa, but still, so it.
You can even do the bell and with the same effect, right? Yep. Genie in, take the damage off your Genie, take him down. I remember the great Genie Wars of 2024.
Oh, shudder. We all
a perilous time.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, the draw is pretty powerful in this matchup, but what I will say is, the script is also very important with this deck. Hitting any Sapphire deck, hitting that ramp on turn 2 is critical. So I will vote with the player who is on script for the first few turns, and barring that, if both players are on script, definitely being on the play here, I think gives you
something
gives
to
you a
consider.
significant
Though
edge.
I believe R&B just altered for 5 cards.
Interesting.
So these control decks usually hard altering, but that means that there's a higher percentage of bricking sometimes.
That's true. It tells me he probably has the ramp, though, because I think if you don't have the ramp, I think you're altering for
all 7.
All 7, I think.
Probably a good sign. Maybe you do. Maybe you do keep it. I don't know. Because you figure with the develop your brain, you'll find the ramp anyway.
That's worth 2 cards. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe so, but certainly, I mean, this is what we saw game 2 when he didn't have the ramp, playing Develop Your Brain rather than establishing anything on turn 1. We know that this deck likes to get Basil in play on turn 1 now, so not seeing that. The Alabama, though, is that one Dumbo.
Already seen the Dumbo. I do believe I'm seeing the Tipo as well.
Is that a Magic?
Rafiki. And see, this is the thing. These long control decks love inking their 1-drop. Oh, I think we missed ramp again, Liam. I think there is no world where we develop our brain on turn 2 if we have the ramp in hand.
Yeah, so it's interesting. Looking at you highlighted the altering for 5. I'm willing to bet that he altered for 5, keeping 2 Develop Your Brains in an effort to find that ramp. But yeah, this feels really bad. I mean, you're on the play, so you have a little bit of this just allows your opponent to catch up a little bit on ink totals, but it does feel really bad to miss that turn 2, especially when you're running, 8 either Tipos or Sail the Azurite Sea. Alabama hitting it, though, getting his ink total where he wants it on this turn. We'll see if R&B can come back from the resource disparity. No, turn 3 play.
And a turn 3 pass! Meanwhile, the Alabama's going to leap ahead here. So if you were not paying attention, you might think the Alabama was on the play. But the Alabama was not on the play, has the extra card. And R&B is in a little bit of a world of hurt. Listen, it's Blurple. We're going the distance, right? We're going to have a long match. It's anybody's game. We're still at 0. This Dumbo is going to help out a ton, right? Yeah, but man, really is nice R&B on the back foot now, I think.
I mean, both players honestly feel a little bit on the back foot. I mean, and I say that now, the Alabama did hit his ramp on turn 2. That's critical. But playing Dumbo on turn 4 is not where you want to play Dumbo. You'd rather establish a Genie or another evasive character, perhaps a Parrot that allows you to use that Dumbo immediately upon playing it in a later turn. So playing that Dumbo early tells me that he doesn't have exactly what he wants either. We'll be able to use it here to draw a single card, but that doesn't feel quite as bad as drawing 2, 3, 4 off of it. So R&B establishing that other Dumbo, which will allow him to either answer or draw his own cards, is really impactful there.
Is this going to be the Elsa?
If it's the Elsa, it hurts. It is the Elsa.
We'll be able to take out that Rafiki. Now that Elsa will be able to activate the Dumbo effect on the next turn. I mean, there's just so many. This is looking grim, and I know those of you at home, it's 1-0 right now, and I'm going, oh, it's looking bad. This is looking dire for R&B here. Missing the ramp and then missing anything to play on 3, absolutely backbreaking. I don't know. I don't know. Because now Alabama is going to be able to draw with that Elsa, gain the lore, even draw with the Dumbo. Okay, I'm seeing it here. Looks like the bell is going to be coming down here.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Whew, what a play. Yeah, fantastic play there, putting 3 damage on the Elsa. Bell coming down, shifting those damage counters over. Remove that threat from the board. Not only is that getting that threat, that well-statted character off the board, but it also removes that card draw that you highlighted that Dumbo could enable. So now RMB with the, does have the Exerted Dumbo on the board. The Alabama will be able to answer that if he wants, but a well-statted Bell. So great turn there.
Right, and you got to ask yourself, if you're the Alabama and you see the Dumbo on your opponent's side of the board, do you make what the official term, I believe, is the tradesies? Into the Dumbo. Understanding that RMB drawing more cards will allow him to get back in this game, or you're around the same cards in hand here. Do you keep your Dumbo? Do you maybe play your Dumbo and say, hey, if you want to? No, he doesn't elect to activate Dumbo's ability.
So one of the things here, if you're protecting your Dumbo, TikTok, I believe, is cost 6, and Dumbo being cost 4, does set up that 10 cost Sing Together for a second star to the right. And so protecting that card tells me that maybe that's a play that he's either looking to make next turn or just wants to protect the Dumbo. But that is a line that's available now as long as he protects those 2 characters.
Absolutely. It looks like the Elsa's coming down here. We're going to...
exert into an... Oh, man. Okay.
And the Elsa will be able to challenge the T-Bow, and just like that, RMB is back. This is the... Of all of the deck mirrors, I will say Blurple is maybe my favorite. Because it has these crazy swingy plays. RMB... 2 minutes ago, if we could do the rewind to 2 minutes ago, we were like, it might be over for RMB. People in chat saying, I don't know, yikes. People are saying, GG's. Just like that, 2 minutes. The Alabama is back. He has the Dumbo. He's the one on the back foot now. You can see him playing around with it. It's unsure of what the best play is. You're trying to see what cards the Alabama has in hand, aren't you? I know, me too. I'm at the edge of my seat trying to figure it out.
I want to know if he has the second star again.
If he has the second star and the RMB made that heads-up play. I mean, so smart, right, to understand. Once again, it's so important to take out that TikTok because to the uninitiated, maybe the Dumbo is the one that you hit with into the... not Into the Unknown. Or is it Into the Unknown? That is the card, unknown, right? Yeah, Into the Unknown. But RMB smartly assessing the situation and saying, no, that TikTok is way more dangerous. So let's take a look here. Let's take a look. Yeah, Bahamut is saying Blurple has too many tempo swinging cards to say it's over just because he missed the ramp on the play. That's absolutely right. The swings in this game are maybe my favorite part because just when it looks like one player is going to take it all the way, they turn it around. Yeah, Dumbo's going to get, taken off the board here. And a Basil to boot. What a turn for RMB. Cleared the board of the Alabama. The Alabama's still ahead on Ink. And technically twice as much lore at 2-1. Looks like this Basil's going to be taken out. Or do we go after the Exerted Elsa? I think we go after the Exerted Elsa, right?
It's an interesting call here. I can see the argument for both. It looks like he does go after the Elsa. I mean, that Basil is so threatening with the support ability. It seems innocuous, but can enable some really, really great trades. The decision that really makes it is that Elsa there with the 1 damage counter on it, which will be able to answer... Hypnotic Strength there. That'll give Challenger 2 to the Elsa. Draw him a card. So now that Elsa will be able to answer the other Elsa pretty cleanly. There it goes. And yeah, just...
Goes this Elsa. We won't quest with the Basil. We don't want to open the door up for the Tipo trade. I respect it. That support can sometimes be great.
Another Hypnotic Strength there on that. And it's Genie drawing a card.
Yeah, and when Blurple players are playing Hypnotic Strength, when it's not really going to matter at all, like that's how you know we're digging, dude. We're in a little bit of a critical place here. I believe the Alabama only has 1 card in hand. Is that correct?
I think so.
Wow, and what was looking so good just a moment ago for the Alabama is starting to expire here. Is it the Bell? Is it the no?
It's the Baymax.
We're gonna not only heal our Elsa, but we are also going to gain 2 lore here. For every damage counter that's taken off of a character, up to 2 whenever you play and whenever you quest, this Baymax is going to be putting in work. The other part of it is he's a 2/6 body, so with that 6 willpower, he's going to be hard to take off the board as well.
Yeah, that's one of the things that makes this deck so difficult to deal with cards like TikTok and Baymax and Hades and all of these 6 and 7 willpower characters. It's just, in a meta where you're really relying on damage-based removal, unless you have Hades or Into the Unknown. It's actually, by the way, the other reason that Hades is just so good in this meta. You know, those high willpower characters are just, they're just difficult to deal with, and especially Baymax with his 2 lore can close things out in the end game. Of course, you know, if you have to get over high willpower, cards with Challenger 3 are helpful. This Elsa coming down here can do significant damage.
That's right. What can we bring
offense.
up that 4-cost Elsa on screen? Ooh, the second star to the right comes down for RMB, and just like that, oh, a backbreaker. Challenger 3. Okay, I was right the first time. It is Challenger plus 3. 4-cost 3/4. Quest for 1. Second star to the right. We're going to be able to sing it cleanly with the Elsa, with the Baymax, and what this card does is sing together. As long as you have 10 on board that can sing it, you draw 5 cards.
It's a lot of cards.
And especially for Blurple, you're going, I mean, what are you going to be drawing other than bangers here? And, yep, absolutely right to save that Basil, because that Basil gives that Elsa just enough strength to take out the Genie. I'm seeing why that Basil is seeing so much play now.
It's just so good.
I think those Basils are up to like $3 foiled now.
It might be.
It's insane. I was looking at it. I was like, oh, there's a lot of Blurple. Maybe I'll buy some foil Basils while I still can. And I don't think I want to pay $3.
Card's been around since set 5. Didn't see a ton of play, but man, just sticking him around on turn 1. He'll sit there for like 10 turns and then all of a sudden do something. So
right. And this Elsa, this is an interesting inclusion. I'm wondering exactly what this Elsa is here to deal with.
Yeah,
what has 6 willpower? I guess Baymax.
There's a lot. I mean, Baymax, Hades in the mirror. And so, you know, when you're looking at the meta, one of the things you're always thinking about, or in a meta that's just dominated by a single deck, is everybody's thinking about the mirror.
Yeah.
What do I have to do in a Blurple mirror to give me an edge? And when you have a lot of 6 willpower characters like Elsa, Spirit of Winter, like Hades, Infernal Schemer, TikTok has 7, but still you'd like to be able to do a little bit of extra there. You know, Madam Mim has 7. And so one of the things in the end game here is you really have to get over these high static characters like that. Perfect example, a 6 willpower, you can take it out easily with the Elsa. So this is a card that's in here for the mirror, I think largely, because of all of the high willpower characters that this deck runs. And we see its effect right there as it cleans up that 6 willpower Baymax.
Absolutely. The TikTok is going to come down here. It's going to threaten those Elsas with some damage on them. And unless RMB has some kind of healing, then he won't be able to turn those Elsas sideways without worrying about that TikTok gobbling one of them up here. You think the Alabama's on the Ana, the Blurple Ana, the one that I believe it's when you quest, you draw a card if you have an Elsa in play. Maybe that's why some of the Elsa energy is also there, but
could be.
We'll see.
I haven't seen it yet, but
yeah,
it would be another interesting reason to include it. And we have seen that list. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, if that Elsa had stuck, then maybe that's another way that he could start getting back into this game, because it is currently 1 card to like 3 or 4. But the Dumbo's going to help. We
did see that card. So the second place deck in the CCS release weekend event ran those Anas. So it is a card that some Blurple players are working with.
Double Dumbo. And we ink the Into the Unknown to play another Dumbo here.
Yeah, I think at this point of the game, it's Hades time, right? And so sticking in, you can't count on a Dumbo sticking around. It's such a big threat. So if you play 2, you know, then you're saying, hey, I bet you can probably deal with 1 elephant. I bet you can't deal with 2.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, there's no clean way to deal with that unless you have 10 and just have enough on board to challenge, which I guess technically you could. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, we're one ink shy, and maybe that's also why. Because even in a worst case scenario where we get, we'd need another 2 Elsa's to come down,
right?
Which would be absolutely crazy. All 4 Elsa's just on board, but let's see. RMB's thinking it over here. He's got the bell in hand. I'm seeing what looks to be an Into the Unknown, maybe a Hypnotic Strength there. I can't quite make out what that 4th card is. But, yep, into the unknown. Get that TikTok out of here. Once again, though, ramping up your opponent, which in a Blurple matchup can come back to bite you.
I mean, into the unknown, just another card that makes this color combo so good. I mean, we lost all of the non-damage based removal for the most part, except hanging on to Into the Unknown, the Hades. This color combo has removal options that just, I don't know, allow it to answer almost anything.
Do we go double in? Okay, we go double in. I believe that TikTok was played a turn before, so that TikTok can still quest. And now we got the Madam Mim Elephant out. Always a dangerous card. You never like seeing it. It's so hard to get rid of. I mean, it's a 3/7 body. They can, every turn that you leave it with damage, like you can't even like put damage on and then say, okay, I'll deal with the rest later. Ugh.
That's just it's an annoying card.
It's an annoying card. It's tough. You got to deal with it all at once. But how do you do that without taking out a lot of your own characters along the way just to make the single trade into 7 willpower? I mean, how much ink, by the way, does the Alabama have? I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It looks like 11 ink. Oh
no, it's low on cards. Will Hypnotic Strength just to draw a card.
Yeah,
most likely.
Yeah.
Probably get another draw with that Dumbo. There it is. Of course, that'll expose that Dumbo. It's not going to stick around very long, but the Alabama just needing to find answers here, apparently. Love to draw into a Hades, perhaps. Any sort of removal.
Yep. I mean, you need to draw. The Alabama, you need to draw some cards. He's looking through his discard. I wonder what he's thinking about here. Blurple versus Blurple does take forever sometimes, but the first 2 games of this were actually pretty decisive. And I am enjoying seeing some of the spice that these players are bringing here. Notably that Elsa. What a strange, what a strange inclusion. But I guess hitting for 6 does a lot, especially into the mirror matchup. You survive the Madam Mim Elephant if you do it with a Hypnotic Strength, for example, right? But man, yeah, never would have thought I'd see that card exactly. Let's see.
It's been around all the way since Rise of the Floodborn. And you can tell that this card we're showing on screen is a first printing because it has that broken tree behind the horse's head.
Oh.
There you go.
I never knew.
They fixed that later.
The broken tree behind the horse's head?
Yeah, right there.
Oh.
They fixed that in later printings, even in set 2, but it's a fun little note there. If you're a collector and you want the OG of this card, look for the one with the error.
Yeah. Or just look for a little 2 at the bottom. That's how I usually do it.
Yes. Even later printings in Floodborn, they fixed it. So you can find Floodborn cards now with both. It's a fun little Easter eggy.
And it looks like a judge is being called over for some kind of a ruling here.
Yeah, chat's saying lore discrepancy.
We might have missed a Dumbo lore trigger. If it was, then I missed it too.
Yes, so that makes sense. When you watched his card draw, he actually started looking through his discard pile, like doing his next move, and then took the card almost as an afterthought. So I think he was kind of thinking through the next thing, and probably missed that lore trigger. So probably discussion there about whether it's a must or a may, or but clearly resolved.
Oh no, and you take out the Dumbo clean with the TikTok, the very thing that's going to be able to eat up more Dumbos. Yeah, and that's why you can't ever call the game too early, because these decks just go the distance.
Yeah, these there's just so many swingy plays here. One of the things that makes this deck so dominant in the meta is it just has removal, it has card draw, it has all the things you want. But one of the things that is missing in Lorcana in general, we had some for a while, but one of the things that we don't have enough of is what people call catch-up cards. It's cards that allow you to swing the tempo in your favor when you're on the draw. Cards in Emerald that we were talking about earlier, Brent, like Cloud Kicker is a perfect example of a card that allows you to, on your turn, establish a board presence while bouncing a card back to your opponent's hand and setting them back a foot, or a little bit. And that was one of those tempo swingy cards, those catch-up cards, those catch-up mechanics that were so valuable in that color. And Amethyst just has a ton of them. Elsa
Absolutely.
is one. Belle, moving damage counters around, is another. These are cards that come into play, allow you to establish a body while also gaining a powerful effect and removing something from your opponent's board.
On the play, which is so impactful, which is why these Blurple games can take forever, but also I think it takes forever and we have a lot of fun watching it because it's like, oh, right when I thought that this was going to happen, this happens, and right when I thought that was going to happen, this happens instead. But we got a lonely Hades out here, and I think the look on the Alabama's face says it all here. There's not much we can do. We're up against 5 characters to 1. I mean, RMB is firmly in the driver's seat here. We'll be able to just exert a genie, a 2-quester that's evasive. Gonna be
Genie. What do you call a group of genies?
Katie was calling them a threenie.
Well, that's yeah. And there's the handshake. Just
the
too much to deal with. And man, I tell you what, Brent. I generally there's some cards where the mirror matches are really a grind. Like green steel on green steel, I just miserable.
You're just discarding. You're like, what do I keep? Yeah, they're sitting there mulling over what card is going to be more impactful 4 turns from now, and then it gets discarded anyway. Yeah.
But a group of geniuses at GG, very, very clever in the chat there. Mr. Dad with the dad jokes. But I actually really like this mirror a lot. It's really fun. There's a lot of real swingy plays. There's a lot of powerful bombs, and it's just this back and forth. You know, I Hades. You know, you're this. I bounce my Hades. Hades, you're Hades. I'm moving damage counters around. Elsa's coming down, exerting things, moving damage counters. Like, it's just a lot of fun. I actually enjoyed that mirror quite a bit.
I did too. I mean, like, how quickly it went from like, oh, R&B's in trouble. Like, this is looking grim unless R&B is able to. Oh no, wait, never mind. R&B wins, right? Like, it's just, and at any point, right? At any point, if the Alabama had just drawn cards that allowed him to draw more cards, right? Sans the Dumbo, which could get, belled and could get Elsa, right? Like that's what that matchup kind of came down to. And I think R&B was able to draw off the top a lot of the cards that were going to keep on refilling his hand. That second star to the right in that last game was a definite game changer. And I am here with the man, the myth, the legend, RMB. Ryan, how you doing today?
Dude, I am elated. Like, first of all, it's always great being here at Charlie's. Like, Charles puts on an absolutely amazing show here. If you're not here right now, you're wrong, first of all. So, like, I get to hang out with all my friends. I get to play, like, a game that we all love. Like, it's such a mood. And I'm 4-0. I'm 4-0.
Congratulations, man. I just watched that match. It was grindy. It was everything you want in a Blurple mirror match. It was back and forth. The tempo was shifting. Talk to me a little bit about your mindset in that last game when you missed ramp, and it looked like he started to run away with it. Talk to me, man. What were you thinking?
Dude, I don't even know, man. Like, so the one saving grace was that, like, he had the ramp on 2, and his turn 4 or his 4 ink play was Dumbo, which was, like, significantly less scary than any of the other 4 drops that it could have been. It could have been like an Iago, it could have been a Genie. Genie would have probably been like the worst possible case, but because he played exactly that, like, I ended up taking the line of just like, okay, I just play my Dumbo. If you want to trade Dumbos, like, I missed ramp here. I'm now at a disadvantage, even though I went first. Like, if we want to just exchange Dumbos, I'm okay, like, making this concession to slow the pace of the game down a little bit so that I can, try to claw back with, like, a couple of clutch plays, which there were definitely some clutch plays. Like, I got the opportunity to sing a second star to the right. He didn't, which was, like,
that felt like the big game changer.
That was the difference maker.
That was the difference maker. Game 1, the play that Liam and I were going crazy about, man. You had a bunch of cards in hand. You had a bunch of choices. It was the turn right before the last turn, right? You throw down the Elsa. You exert both of the bells as he draws into second star to the right. Now, I got to ask, RMB, did you know? You were on the lookout for it. You were playing around it.
Dude, so, like, the Blurple mirror match now, thanks to Kendall Burdett, no, I'm not, like, the Blurple mirror match now is all about sing equity. If you can sing the second star to the right, you just win the game. Like, the game is just actually over. You draw 5 cards and you still get all this ink. So once you get to, like, you need to be mindful of the the cost count of characters your opponent has in play. Like if they have 10, you should always be afraid of second star to the right. And like if you can play around it, if you can either remove something or like that Elsa, like I was holding the Elsa getting like just waiting for the turn that.
So you were waiting that long
like,
even.
Dude,
My
it was
God.
in my hand since the beginning of the game.
Yo,
It was
what?
literally in my hand since the beginning
And you
of
were
the game.
just like, okay, if he ever gets to 10 Ink
have to
Singers,
stop it.
I gotta
I have to
stop
stop
the
it.
second star to the right. And then for him to top deck it, I mean, dude, a lesser player, I'll call myself a lesser player.
No.
I would be like, oh, look how many genies I can get out. Look how much ink I have. You're like, no. There's one card that could turn this game around, and it's second star to the right, and he
100%.
has 10 on board. You just nailed it, and he scooped immediately. I mean, I don't even think that game between you and I don't think that game was complete. I don't think that game was completely over, but I think just the nature of top decking that, as soon as you see it, I mean, dude, he scooped and the game was over.
It's an uphill battle. Like if your opponent gets to sing second star before you do and they like stymie your ability to do it, the game it throws so much tempo. It's like, okay, like say we're trying to get to well, we are trying to get to 20, but like, let's say,
let's say, for example, we were trying to play the game. Right,
yeah, right. Like, so like, let's say you're trying to get to like 10 points of tempo positive.
Yeah.
Like at that stage in the game, we're both like net neutral at like 4 tempo. We threw like an 8-point tempo swing. So like, we put our opponent back to 2 and we went to 10.
Yeah.
Which is like, dude, it's actually just insane. Like that type of tempo swing is so hard to come back from because what do you do on your follow-up turn? Like, you finally get to sing yours, but I've already now established 2 turns worth of characters. Like, I'm past the point. Like, I've got all the cards in the world. I'm going to go so wide that you have nothing that, like, is going to be able to interact with the board. Like, sure, you might be able to Hades and, you know, Into the Unknown something, but you're never gaining tempo back on the board, ever.
I love to hear your insight, man. They said that we'd have to do quick, but we're not getting cut off, so I'd like to pick your brain a little bit more here. I mean, brother, people are calling Blurple the Tier 0 deck, the only Tier 0 deck of the format. No, you disagree?
Absolutely not. No, like, so there's a few like really, really prominent players out in the field today that are on a Emerald Sapphire list that I think is like the bane of Blurple's existence.
Wow.
It's like, dude, the matchup's like kind of unwinnable. It's like,
wow, really?
Yeah, we like tested it a bunch. Sailor and I tested it over the course of the last week. And like, that's like the only, like Zan's on it.
Yeah.
Zan's an incredible player, number one. And then on top of that, he's playing like a direct, like I just don't want to pair into him. As long as I don't pair, like, I also think that the Amethyst Steel matchup and like the Blurple matchup is very, very swingy as well.
Yeah.
So like they get to do effectively the same thing that you're doing, trying to like do this Dumbo thing. The difference is that like your turn 3 Genie doesn't really matter because their turn 3 drop Genie sings Strength of a Raging Fire on your Genie, and you've already lost. You've lost the Evasive War before the Evasive Wars even happened.
Right.
It's like, I think it's a 50-50 matchup. I think Amethyst Steel is a 50-50 matchup. And like I also think that you just play Amber Steel aggro, and like Blurple needs to have Into the Unknown on Tiana, or you just lose the game. Like you actually just lose the game. If you can't answer the Tiana instantly, it's over.
Okay.
It's over. So I don't think Blurple is Tier 0. I think that it's got the highest card quality for any deck in the game right now.
Okay.
So like just play the best cards that you can, and they are in fact in Blurple, and try to be more skillful than your opponent. I think it's going to reward people that put the time to like learn the lines on the deck, because it's not super linear and super straightforward. Like gaining tempo on the draw is very, very difficult in a lot of matchups. So you put the reps in, like I think the deck is capable of being the best deck. It's probably the best deck, but I think that there's still a lot to be explored with this format. Okay.
Very, very fair. I guess last of all, if anybody at home is thinking about playing Blurple, what's the reason you chose it today? What's the reasoning? Like, where's your brain at? Why should a person play Blurple?
Because it just has the best cards in the game in it. I get to play Baymax. Like, Baymax is one of my favorite cards in the game, and just never got the opportunity to shine because of cards like Brawl and Big Sisu, you know, prior to rotation. So, like, the fact that I can just play Baymax now, I'm happy as a kid on, like, Christmas Day.
Is it because Baymax has some special quality to him?
It's just my favorite card. Like, it's just such an awesome card. It's a card that allows you to claw back, like, from a lore loss on the draw and just, like, steal games that you have no business winning.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, in that game, too, it looked like you were going to be able to claw back with that Baymax until all of the...
I had 3 Hades in my hand. I was like, I don't have enough ink to play all of these at the same time. I think I was
a pack of Hades.
Yeah, I had like 11 ink. I was like, man, if I was at 14, this would be sick. but I didn't.
Well, RMB, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. 4-0, man. 4-0. How you feeling? You
Feel
feeling
pretty good? We're gonna see. We'll see. I'm gonna keep trying to go.
All right, man.